even in a year where you drop off, you'd still win the league most likely. And then you slowly build back to the top. So I think you're absolutely spot on. There's a lot of recruitment that's needed, and it needs to be at the very highest level. Where my concern is for City, and this is me being objective, is the reasoning and the rationale for pulling out the Wirtz deal. I know it's hard to convince him to not stay in Germany, but pulling out, what I read yesterday is there's too much money. And I'm sitting there thinking, but money... I mean, I don't know about you. For me, that sounds like bullshit.
Well, yeah, I did a stream on this yesterday. I think that is PR for we've been rejected. This is a football club that pays Haaland £500,000 a week. We didn't spend anything last summer. Yeah, they go on about telling how much money they make. This is not a football club that usually has ever had a problem with money. So I personally don't believe it. I think it's club PR. I think the guy's just rejected us, which is cool. You know, I think sometimes I've seen some City fans speak about this as well. It's like, if you're going to go in for the very best players in the world, it's a fact of life that you're not going to get every single one of them. Yeah. You are going to be rejected. We got rejected by Bellingham. We got rejected by Wirtz. Liverpool got rejected by Bellingham. They got rejected by Caicedo. They've been rejected by... If you're going to go for the very best players in the world, you're not going to land every single target. I personally believe that City got rejected by Wirtz for whatever reason. And rather than just putting that out there and say, he's rejected us, lads, we did our best, but he didn't want to join for whatever reason, we've got to move on. They've spun it and talked about money. This is not a club that's ever had a problem with money, really. You know, we have pulled out of a couple of deals, the Van Dijk deal. There's a couple of other deals that we pulled out of. But I think when we're talking about Florian Wirtz, I just don't believe that for 1 second, personally. I think we got rejected. And I'm cool with that. I'm absolutely chill with that, because for me, there is no entitlement of signing the very best players. You win some. We got Haaland. Yeah, we battled Real Madrid. We got Haaland. We battled Real Madrid for Bellingham. We didn't get him. We battled Liverpool and Bayern for Wirtz. We didn't get him. It is what it is. You win some, you lose some. The alternative is you don't try and sign the best players, and you go and get the mediocre players who are desperate to play for your football club. But then you don't ever have the top talent. So, yeah, I'm not really that arsed, to be honest, about it.
Who do you think is your next KDB and De Bruyne?
Well, I personally, I don't think we should try and replace him directly. I think that's a mistake.
Yeah.
I think that's a mistake. I think the only player in the world that can replace De Bruyne, at a decent level, I think was Florian Wirtz. Now he's rejected us. Yeah, I'm going to say rejected us, but obviously whatever you believe, whatever you want to believe. Now he's rejected us. I believe that the club shouldn't force a number 10 signing. I think we should play with effectively 2 8s. And I think we should make a couple of midfield purchases. Reinders, apparently, is a player that City are looking at, and I reckon that's going to be done. Foden, but obviously he needs to get back on it, because this year I just don't know where he's been. He's just been nowhere near the level we need him to be. If Gibbs White's going to be that guy as well, whatever. And maybe you lean on some of your younger players. But I personally don't think, and again, everyone will have their own opinion. I don't speak for all City fans, I speak for myself. I don't think the club should force a purchase of a number 10 for purchasing a number 10's sake. Yeah. Not good enough.
Just to back you on this, Man United made a mistake from about from January 2005 until we signed. Well, actually, we started making a mistake before he left, and it took us until we signed Carrick in 2006. We kept on trying to find a like for like replacement for Roy Keane. We tried, God rest his soul, Liam Miller. We tried Jemba, amongst others. We kept on trying to find someone that was good on the ball, had a little bit of bite about them, could make a tackle. So we tried finding the exact identical profile. And the problem is, the Premier League before Roy Keane, during Roy Keane's era, and since Roy Keane, there's barely been anybody like him. So what we ended up getting right in the end is we found Michael Carrick, who's a completely different type of holding midfield player.
Changed.
But brilliant in his own right. I've said this about Liverpool. Do not try and replace Mo Salah like for like. You're going to be disappointed. You're better off getting a Bowen, who's a very good right-sided midfield player, and putting all your money into a number 9 like Isak, who can make the goals up, rather than trying to find that right inside forward who's going to be that like for like. It's so hard to do. And it also creates, and I'm seeing City fans do this online, and I think if I offend people, I offend people. I don't care. I think it's people that have decided to be City fans recently, more so than people that remember the hard times. the way I've seen City fans online, this club's falling apart. The standards ain't there. We haven't replaced, like, criticize, yes, but the way they're talking, it's like, listen, you don't understand English football. Teams have dominated, like you guys, in the last 8 years. United did it in the 90s and noughties. Liverpool did it in the 70s and in the 80s. But no one's ever done what Real Madrid do, which is just basically you dominate forever. Does that make sense? It doesn't happen over here. There are peaks and troughs. And a really important way to stop that from happening, where you drop off completely, is by not doing that like-for-like thing. We need the new KDB. We need the new Haaland, the new company. That creates an unnecessary... I hate it. It's one of the worst phrases I think you do in football. Oh, we've signed the new Rooney. Shut the fuck up. We've signed Joe Bloggs. Like, I don't want that pressure on the player. It doesn't help either. So, mate, I completely agree with you. Replacing KDB is almost impossible. Why? He's your greatest ever player. He's one of the greatest attacking midfielders in Premier League history. The bar to get to that level to be an actual replacement is so high, it may never happen. And that's not a dig. It's he was so good, you may never... Arsenal haven't had better since Thierry Henry. Man United, we haven't had a better attacker than Cristiano Ronaldo in 2009. We've had good. We've had Van Persie. We had Zlatan. No one was at what Ronaldo's level was. And that's partly, you could say, bad recruitment for us. But even then, how many players have come to the Premier in that time that have been better than him? Very few. It's so hard to do. You're spot on, mate. 100%.
Could you pull up the comment from Raz at 404 as a moderator in the chat? I think this is a good point from Big Up Raz, yeah. City need a winger that will finally start banging in goals. No need to replace KDB. When you won the season league last year, he wasn't immense. KDB didn't even play that much last year. He played a little bit more in the second half, but if you remember, his first game of the season, he done his hamstring and had an operation. We didn't see him until like December. It's when Klopp said the whole world shakes when De Bruyne's back. I think this is an interesting point, right? Because for me, I think that City, we need to build a team where everyone from midfield to the attack and maybe even your fullbacks have the ability to chip in with goals. And one of our problems this year is if Haaland doesn't score, we're kind of screwed, because Doku doesn't score, Savio doesn't score, Gundogan doesn't score, Kovacic has had the best season ever in his career at the age of 31 and he scored 6 goals. Rodri's been out. Gavardio's been one of our most attacking threats and he's a defender. So for me, I'm looking at this going, we can't just rely on Haaland to score, and we can't just rely on a KDB replacement to come in, hit the ground running, score all these big goals, get all these assists. I think we need to spread the goals and spread the creativity around the team. So I think for me, the way I'd approach it, and again, this is just my opinion, the way I'd approach it is rather than now looking at an out-and-out KDB replacement, look at just improving the squad as a whole. Let's look at our wingers. Can we get better wingers? Let's have a look at our 8s and the attacking 8. Can we get 2 better 8s? Rodri's coming back, great. You know, I mean, can we get a better backup to him? Fullbacks. We have no fullbacks at this football club. Not one. We don't have a single fullback. Can we get some fullbacks in? That would be pretty nice.